Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of our series called Transfer Trial, episode number 2. And today we're looking at Juventus, who have signed 4 new players. Well, I think they signed more than that, but those are the main players I want to look at. And those players are Sami Khedira, Paulo Dybala, Neto, and MANDZUKIC. And Juventus have made some very good signings already this year, but the formation we're going to be using is the 4-3-1-2. And the first player we're going to be talking about is the first player we're adding to the squad, who is Neto, a Brazilian goalkeeper. And honestly, Neto was for sure the best player in this team. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he is the best keeper I've used in this game. He's a non-rare 76 overall, and I'm calling him the best keeper I've used in this game, but he is insane. You will see the saves he pulls off in this episode. It's absolutely crazy. But if you haven't seen the last episode of Transfer Trial, where we covered Bastian Schweinsteiger and Memphis Depay, who moved to Manchester United, then go check it out. I'm doing the same thing in that episode about using players out of position, and I'm using Lichtsteiner at right back. I think that's the only player out of position in this team, and honestly, I've used him at right back plenty of times before, and he is great out there. I think he's on 6 or 7 chem because of loyalty and then a manager. But right next to him, we have our 2 center halves, and what am I saying, Koscielny? No, we have Giorgio Chiellini and Leandro Bonucci. And Bonucci, we've got our pack bull Bonucci. I remember when I pulled him, I was freaking out. I think that was like my second team of the season I pulled. But let's stop talking about pack openings. Right next to him, we have Patrice Evra, a very solid left back in the Serie A. And if I had to go for a second best player in this team, it would be the man I'm adding right now. That would be Paul Pogba. He scored a ton of goals for the team. He assisted many players. He got back defensively and actually moved him to attacking mid. I just forgot to put him in there originally. But going on to the next player we're adding to the team, it will be Sami Khedira, who completed his move to Juventus from Real Madrid on a free transfer, which is a very good signing for Juventus, considering that they have lost Andrea Pirlo, which is a huge part of their team. And I know Pirlo's not the same kind of player as Khedira, but Khedira is still an amazing signing for them. He's just a brute in the midfield. And Marquinhos is just a very solid player as well. But going back to the last episode about Manchester United, I'm hearing that they're going to sign Morgan Schneiderlin in the next couple of days. And they signed officially the Italian defender. So if you guys want to see another episode going back to Manchester United and using those 2 new players they signed, let me know in the comments below. I can definitely do that, but I don't want to do some overkill on Manchester United, you know, because I want to get all the teams in here. But if you didn't see there, we added Mario Mandzukic to the team, and he joined from Atletico Madrid. And Juventus always have such solid signings. To sell Carlos Tevez and then bring in Mandzukic, that's like a really good deal. And they also signed Paulo Dybala from Palermo, and I would have used his Juventus card, but unfortunately it extinct on the market due to just price ranges pretty much. And Dybala was definitely the better striker in this team, at least for me. Mandzukic was kind of clunky, but I've used Mandzukic before, his Atletico Madrid card, and it was very good for me. He finished everything he shot, and he didn't even feel that slow. But this card for some reason felt kind of slow, but I'm sure if I used him again, he would perform better. And I'm sorry guys, just watch this. Pogba gets the ball, pulls the trigger, top left corner, and look at him going crazy. Look at the team going crazy. Actually, the team's just standing there. I don't know why they're just standing there. That's an absolute rocket from Pogba, and that's just the kind of things he does for this team. And Juventus, with the signings, are hoping they can have a season as good as the one they had this year. They won the Serie A. They've established kind of like a monopoly in that league. They have such a stacked team compared to the other Italian teams, which kind of makes me sad, you know. The Serie A used to be such an amazing league. It used to have such good teams, all competitive. AC Milan, Internazionale when Jose Mourinho was there, and etc. But now it's kind of deteriorating. But I'm really hoping the Serie A will pick back its quality in the next couple of years. But yeah, going back to Juve have established they're just the most dominant team in that league, hands down. You can't really make an argument about it. And personally, I know they had an insane season this year. They obviously made it to the Champions League final, and they won the Serie A like I previously mentioned, and they won the League Cup in Italy. And look at this team I'm about to play. This was the team I was talking about, like the full Legends informed team of the season, whatever you want to call it. And this witness Neto show his brilliance. But going back to the Juve, personally, I can't see them, even though they have all these amazing signings, I still can't see them doing as well as they did last year. I getting to the Champions League final, I know they're a very good team, but I just can't see it happening again. That's just me personally, though. But I definitely see them winning the league again, and they definitely could go well on and win the League Cup again. So maybe they'll get another double in their trophy cabinet. But that would be the last save that Neto makes in this amazing game. Of course, this freaking team name's Twats FC. What a cunt. But as you can see, Neto made 18 saves in that game. And then right after that, we go into this game against this guy. And you're about to witness an amazing comeback after we score the first goal in the game with Pogba. An amazing free kick from him. Power free kick into the left. But as you can see, after that, we go down 4 goals in the first half. But then we put on the engine and we make the comeback happen. And even though Juventus lost Carlos Tevez, they're going to have probably one of the best rotation of forwards in the world. They're going to have MANDZUKIC, they're going to have Morata. We all know Morata. He completely proved the Real Madrid board wrong. They sold him, didn't think he was a Real Madrid player. They come up against him in the Champions League semifinals, scores both home and away to take Juventus to the final and knock Real Madrid out, preventing them from having the 2 years in a row to win the Champions League. But Juventus are going to have Morata, they're going to have MANDZUKIC, and they're going to have Dybala as their forwards. And I'm sure any team in the world would love to have any one of those players in their starting 11 because all of them are proven players. But we finished the comeback there with Pogba celebrating. And if Juve have such a strong attack where they can literally bring on any forward and they will do well, and they keep their midfielders in Arturo Vidal, Pogba, and Marquisio, and they also have Chiellini, an experienced goalkeeper like Buffon, with the backup like Neto in net, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, and honestly, they could make it to the Champions League semis again, or even the final possibly. But that's going to bring an end to this episode of Transfer Trial. If you liked it, please drop a like down below, share with your friends, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Transfer Trial.